Okay, jam out for a minute. We are going to, let me get comfy. Pink cozies. I got my brother's hoodie on today. Give some hearts to this one. My dad helped design all of this, all the geometry in it. It's my brother Jamal. New clothing line he's got coming out. This is all copper. Yeah, loving the hoodie. Exactly. Give some mad hearts for that. What's up, Shani? What's up, James? Linny. Sparkling. It is, I know, right? Give some hearts for Egyptian, yo. Yes, love it. We'll see if he jumps on because he just called me. There we go. What is going on? What's going on? Guys. Give me the heart. Give me the heart. Hang on. All right. Jump back on. What is going on? Okay. I'm going to hang up and then I'm going to jump back on. Okay? So jump back on in a second because there's something going on. I got to turn something off. Bring me down, bring me down. Love is too high. Bring me down, bring me down. I said, okay. Now we're good. All right, guys. Welcome to Soul Circle. Conscious love and relationships. There we go. We have a better connection now. Give me the hearts if you got the better connection now. Give me some comments. Give me the yeses. Give me the hearts. Tell me you're happy. Tell me you got good vibes. What's up, Christina? I love Ari. Mama Zan, Lucy, Kayla. Yes, there we go. Mad hearts. That's what I want to see. Give us some hearts if you're happy. You guys love it? Juliana, you love it? You love it? You love it? Okay, now we're going. Okay, technology, we're good? We're good? We're good? Okay, so first, huge shout out to my brother Jamal, who showed up last night. I will post the pictures. It was family visit. So I just wanted to be in the space with visiting him. He came all the way down from Sebastopol. So I was jamming with him. I will post pictures. So I will tag him so you guys can check out. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. This is the big one that I got as a gift for someone else. I got a red one. But I'm putting this one on tonight. This is all copper, you guys. No joke. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So my dad actually helped do a lot of the geometry that's in here. So this is all the Egyptian, the Waj and the Jed. And then I don't know the other designer's name. Jamal told me. I'll see if I can tag him as well. So it's a whole collab. My dear brother, Jamal, who we geek out on Egyptian and sacred geometry stuff. And so this is his new clothing line. It's Hawk. Where's it at? Where's it at? Hawks. Health, abundance, wealth, knowledge of self. Okay. So totally new. Super cozy. They're going to come they're in red and they're in purple and they're super dope. And then he's coming out with a bunch of other like really cool, cozy versions. We're going to be jamming on some cool collective stuff. Okay. But what I super love, just because it's all shiny, but this is all copper. So this whole thing, yes, is geometric and yes, is Egyptian, but it's also conductive because we're nerds like that. Must have that hoodie. So freaking dope. Exactly. So give some mad hearts. Like I said, check my stories after. And I will post, and I'll probably crop top. There is one. So the girls he's got as crops, right? Fucking dope. I don't know if he's gonna jump on. How's the energy been the past 2 days for y'all? I love that you guys all say hi to each other. I don't know if he's gonna jump on. He literally called me before, and I don't know if he remembered that I do Soul Circle every Tuesday. So, loves, we are doing love and relationships, self-love and relationships. Conscious love. I didn't put it in yet. There we go. So we'll do cards for sure. Duh, because that's happening. So what's the topic this evening? Give a little shout out while I am shuffling. What's up to everybody in YouTube world? Sebastopol is right by Bodega Bay. I don't know. Google it. I don't know. It's so comfy, you guys. Like my Libra side was like, how do I choose? How do I choose just one? Boo. So what I love about what he's doing with this, right, is like he's setting it up for like an account for his kids' college education. So like a good amount of the proceeds go to his children, which I love. He's such a good brother. Oh, Stacy, you nailed it on the head today. Surrendering to the uncertainty. Yeah. So who's feeling a little uncertain right now? Who's feeling like, what's up? Sitterdine, girl, where you at? Where you at right now? What's up, Jessica? Rod Realty. Stacy, yeah, no kidding. That was literally the conversation like all day. There's so much uncertainty going on. So here's what's really beautiful, okay? Here's what we have to remember. And yes, hearts. Yes, mad hearts on that. You guys already know this. You already know this. But this is like the times when like applying the things that we already know and to remember to be able to put into practice, this is when this comes into play, right? So what does that mean? That means that uncertainty, there is always uncertainty with everything, especially in relationships. We also know that whenever you have uncertainty, it's also an opportunity of unlimited possibilities. So as much as, yeah, mad hearts, as much as in the world, in your relationships, in the what you want to create for yourself, plan that you have in the world, you got to just become really great at flexibility. So practicing, okay? So here's the main tip of this week that I want all of you guys to remember. Like always, but set almost like at the beginning of the week, kind of like how we set intentions on like new moons, all of that stuff. Set like what you want to practice during the week, right? What do you want to practice? What do you want to practice with yourself? What do you want to practice in relationships? Since all relationship, how you are with self, how you are in business, how you are romantically, how you are with coworkers, how you are with your boss, how you are in friendships and family relations, how you are in any relationship, it's always about practicing, right? How are you showing up as the best and highest version of you, practicing new and better versions of behaving to have better and newer versions of deeper intimacy, connection, relating, love, badassness, all of that. So what do you want to practice this week? What are you practicing? If this week, if there's so much uncertainty, then what's the antidote? What's the remedy for uncertainty? Is flexibility, right? I don't know why. That just made me laugh because I remember there was this time, I haven't shared this story in forever. I'm pretty sure I shared this a long time ago. Okay. I used to live in Sweden. I was like, what, 7. Mama, are you on here? How old were we when I was in Sweden? It was like 9, 10, something like that. We traveled around Europe, okay? And we lived in Sweden, and there's these things. Do we have any people from Sweden in here? Is Soul Circle? Who do we got? Use either Swedish or from Sweden. Yes, we'll do cards, okay? Can we have story time for 2.5 seconds? So here's the deal. When I lived in Sweden, there is this plant called nettles, okay? I hate this plant. It is these very, like, they look evil. They look evil. The little leaves come off and they have these little spikies. It's like leaves. It's like leaves with pokey nettles. Okay. So the whole plant is called nettles, right? I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, right? Stinging nettles. Yes, Emma. Yes. Stinging nettles. Okay. Not like it lives up to its name. Let me just tell you, because there was one day we decided to go hiking in Sweden because that's what you do, right? Freezing cold outside. And no, I'm pretty sure it was the spring. Anyways, so we're going hiking in the forest. Yes, we have them. Yes, you've experienced with one and it's terrible. Oh my God, girl, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, it stings like a bitch, like a bitch. So we are hiking. My ass that is always 5 steps ahead of like the rest of the herd. Okay. And I'm just like over there, like discovering whatever I'm discovering on my own on the path, right? I'm like waiting for everybody to catch up. And so I'm over here, whatever. I know nothing about, I'm like 9 years old. I trip and I fall. I don't just fall a little bit. I don't just fall and maybe like my hand goes on the nettle. No. My clumsy ass literally trips and I fall sideways 100% into a whole bush of stinging nettles. Full body fall. Okay. This was not like a little trip and I like graciously maneuvered myself. No, because that doesn't happen when you're at 9. Okay. I literally trip and full body fall into a whole fucking bush of nettles. These things, they're tiny little pricks. They are tiny, tiny little pricks, but good God, they don't just poke you. It's not like a cactus where you poke and then it hurts, right? It pokes you. They're tiny little pokes. Okay. So it feels almost like nothing. No, it's not the fall. It's not the first getting them stuck. It's not even getting them stuck in your skin. That's not what hurts. No, it is like these things have a poison of some kind and they literally make your whole skin feel like it is on fucking fire afterwards. Okay. Tiny little pricks, big fucking punch of fire through my whole body. Not awesome. My whole body from head to toe. Yep. You know the feeling. It is not fun, guys. It's not fun at all. It's like debilitating. You can't even, it's like death. Yes, you literally want to die because it's not like pain. It's like just this extremely uncomfortable, like low vibe sex. Sure. If low vibe sex feels like burning pain to you, that's a whole other topic. I feel like that is a soul circle for a special day. Yes, beyond horrible, been there. Okay, so you guys know what stinging needles is. Okay, love Sweden, love Swedes, hate stinging needles. However, full circle to this conversation, low vibe sex, exactly. Stinging needles, it's kind of like low vibe sex. It's kind of like having sex with a muggle. Just don't do it. Don't recommend it. However, full circle to wherever there is a nettle, a stinging nettle, there is 3 feet away. This is where, like, I apply this to everything in my life. Okay. So listen up on this. Wherever there was a stinging stinging nettle plant, not 3 feet away is the leaves that are the antidote. Okay. I couldn't pick enough of those. Let's just be right. I had them pasted all over my fucking body. Like just, I was green from head to toe. And oh God, are we getting into sex tonight? We might be. Pause. So wherever there is a stinging nettle, Okay. Wherever there is low vibe sex, there is always an antidote. Oh God. What would that be? Pause. So there is always a antidote, right? These very soft leaves that in them, the juice is the antidote to the stinging nettle, right? Nettle tea, very different. Nettle tea, is that the antidote? I don't know. Or are you saying that's the antidote to low vibe sex? Chamomile? Chamomile? Ginger? Next. Hilarious. Okay. So that being said, full circle, whenever you have a stinging nettle in life, know that there is always an antidote, not more than 3 feet away. So if uncertainty, which you're going to have in every fucking relationship, okay, you're going to get into a relationship with somebody and then you don't know if it's going to be low vibe sex or not. Hopefully you should be able to like tap into somebody ahead of time to know how that's going to be. I would say work on your discernment a little bit before. Okay. Antidote. Yeah, we need to find the antidote to low vibe sex for real. For real. Let's figure that out. And it's not chamomile tea. I don't think that's cutting it. And uncertainty. If that's the nettle right now, if that's the stinging nettle, because you're going to have uncertainty with anything, with everything, right? Every relationship that you have is going to have an essence of uncertainty. That's part of what makes it beautiful. That's part of what makes the opportunities for creativity, right? The opportunities for anything to happen. So remembering though that you have an antidote. Wow. Seriously? Instagram, not loving you right now. Hang on, guys. Hold the phone. Totally cut it out. Y'all, I don't know what's up with Instagram. I really don't. See who's jumping on. You're like, damn, stinging nettles. All right. Come on, guys. Let's kick it in. Come on. It totally cut out. So soul circle, back again, conscious love and relationships. We're talking about uncertainty. Before it got cut out, we're talking about stinging nettles. Okay, so you guys are going to have to watch the replay of this on YouTube. So I'll leave it up on my YouTube because the whole thing just jammed out because Instagram's doing something because there's tons of uncertainty and you just never know when you're going to get cut off. You just don't know. Damn, cut off. Yeah, legit cut off. It was like a mid-sentence and just done. No warning, no whatever. We're over it. Point is, if there is, so I was just saying for all of you guys that are just jumping on, watch the YouTube replay. Whenever there is a stinging nettle in life, which you will always have, and right now it's uncertainty, 3 feet away, you have the antidote. And the antidote is to practice. So what are you practicing in your life, in your relationships this week, this season? That can be practicing flexibility. Go with the flow. Okay, oh, this is going to happen. Nope, that's changing. Cool, we're going over here. No problem, right? Love you too, Juniper's Island. Uncertainty is a great time for shadow work and self-reflection and growth. Boom, Valerie. Yep, you know it. So how you doing on your purpose too, babe? So that being said, obsessed with the hoodie. Okay, my bro, Jamal. I will show the pictures in my stories, so watch out for that. So you guys, if you just tuned on and you missed the whole beginning because Instagram jammed it out, okay? Do we need another platform? Different topic. We were talking about stinging nettles and real bad sex. That being said. Oh, uncertainty in relationships. So what is the antidote that you need to be practicing? If it's uncertainty that you're experiencing right now in the world, in relationships, remember that that's an opportunity for tons of possibility to create. And if it's not uncertainty, what is the thing? What's your stinging nettle right now that then you would have 3 feet away an antidote? What is the complete opposite? And that opposite is the thing that then you need to be putting into your daily ritualistic practice now. every single day. So what is that? Do you need to practice more go with the flow? Do you need to practice how to just like not take things so seriously? Do you need to practice like curiosity? Junipers, I need to collab with you. All right, babe. That sounds fun. I'm super dope for having, or I'm super interested to have that conversation. DM me, whatever your ideas are. Release of control. Okay, good. So your stinging nettle is control. So what would be the antidote to control? What would you need to practice every single day? If control is the thing, what's the antidote? You already know it. You know it. Conscious practice is game changing, Val. You know it. I know. Is that going well still? You know all the tools, babe. You know all of those tools. Okay. So what is the thing? What's your stinging nettle? If you guys just jumped on, I was sharing that I fell into a bush a long time ago. I was 9. I was in Sweden. These stinging nettles, but 3 feet away is the antidote. These leaves that literally take all the stinging and the burning away. And there's always, that happens anytime in nature, right? Nature doesn't create something without an antidote. Nature, not man-made, nature. If it's natural, there will always be an antidote. I'm gonna be quiet on the rest of that statement. Fern? What does that mean? Fern? No, it wasn't. It was these little leaves. I forget what they're called. Okay. Look up the stinging nettle and then look up it's the leaves that's the antidote. But basically all of that to say that if something in nature is created that is not comfy, not cozy, right? The universe always has a balance. It always creates a balance. That's its primary objective, is to create harmony and balance. The primary purpose, I was in a meditation earlier today and I was like, what is the primary purpose of our soul's existence? And it's like, our primary purpose is to experience ourselves, right? You're going to experience the shadow side, the stinging nettles, and you're going to experience the positives, the opposite, right? The antidote to those stinging nettles. So wherever you have one thing that's a stinging nettle, you will always absolutely have an antidote. It is literally a law of the fucking universe, because that's how the universe created itself. It was like, oh, let's try this. Well, before you do that, it's like, don't build a bike until you know how the brakes work. Like, don't learn, like, that's the first thing that you learn, how to stop or jump off, right? The universe doesn't create anything without first knowing the antidote, without first having its equal and opposite. So if you are ever in a situation of uncertainty, unknowing, fear, tragedy, upset, right? Whatever, stinging nettle, burning fucking skin, just like a stinging nettle, or what was it? Really bad sex? There is always an antidote. Okay. I don't know if it's chamomile tea for bad sex, but there is always an antidote. Usually it's just to find a better partner. Or take some tantra, right? Learn how to like spiral your energies, or learn how to like energetically communicate without words. That might help. I love that. The little emoji with the side tongue. Mm-hmm. Okay. What did you say? Like urine on jellyfish sting? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay. I don't know who came up with that one, but the universe created it. Okay. So it didn't create jellyfish without urine. It just didn't. All right. So what else? What else are we, hang on, Val, doing real good with purpose, mama. Yes. Okay, good. You feel it unfolding. Definitely got a feeling of uncertainty, but it's exciting. Okay, good. Did you book your follow-up call? Let's see. Junipers, remember jumping on your live when you were talking and laughing about Peeps stocking up on toilet paper in the beginning of Coco 19. Yep. And then I decided to stop talking about all that stuff because I realized, oh my God, this is one giant commercial after another. Oh, why do I want that one? Wisdom. Look at that. Look at that. What wisdom do you need? Yes, yes, yes. Like telepathic messages. What do you mean? What do you mean? Telepathic, like what with telepathic messages? Okay, so these are shuffles. I will do the other one. Did it shut off? Give me some hearts, guys. Are we still on? Why is Instagram being a brat? I feel like we need an antidote to Instagram. It's already cut me off once. What is the deal? And I've done a reboot on my phone, okay? It's because now we have all of these other electromagnetics. Say that word too much, otherwise they will boot me off. 2020 is exciting because it opens doors for opportunity. Yes, girl. Oh, you think she means when I said, oh, thank you, to learn to speaking without words. Thank you, guys. I love it. See, I say stuff and then I don't remember what comes through. So telepathic messages, speaking without words. No, that's not what I mean when I say better sex. So if you can, okay, I'll give you another example. So this works very much with those of you. Give some hearts who's an empath in the room. I feel like that should be just about everybody. I had this old piercing in my ear and I decided to pop it through again, and now it's a little sensitive. So that does remind me, when I grew up traveling around Europe, I didn't know the language. I didn't know how to speak to anybody. Okay. I had to learn. First it was German, then it was Swedish, and then it was Portuguese. Okay. So when we're going to detour around sex just for 2.5. So when you can learn how to energetically pick up on what people's intentions, pick up their energy, pick up their essence, pick up their field, if you will, right? You're listening for what they're communicating, not what they're verbally saying they're communicating. Yes? So it's almost like, you know how whenever somebody does say something, you got to listen for what their intention is or what their feeling is, not just the words, because everything goes through our filters. So try listening to people who you don't know the language. Just try it. Any language, doesn't matter, right? Just try listening to another language and see, or rather feel into the person that's speaking. Watch their facial expressions, watch their mannerisms, look into their eyes, like feel beyond just the hearing of the words. It's not just body language. That has a lot to do with communicating. We communicate in so many different ways, yes. But first and foremost, the number one thing that speaks louder than your voice and your body language is your energy, your essence. It's not just tonality, it's not just body language, not just those things. It's your energy introduces you before anything physical. Anything physical. You could give somebody a look and you're stoned, right? You're not moving at all. You don't have to have a posture of anything. You could just see your head and you can give somebody a look. You guys know what I'm talking about. Give me some hearts if that resonates. Yes, pay most attention to the energy. Exactly. Circling that back around to better sex. If somebody doesn't know how to communicate without words, if somebody doesn't know how to listen for energy, if you're still working to speak through your energy without words, then those would be the things that I would invite you to practice. This is kind of like on the Tantra spectrum, but not really, because they talk about breath work and they talk about all those things. I'm literally just saying, feel into energy before words. There's so much more communication that happens. That's why they say, okay, that's why they say intimacy, right, happens well before anything sexual. And so we were talking earlier. Who said that? Was it Juniper's, babe? Island? Juniper's Island? Is that like Gilligan's, but Juniper? Was that you who was mentioning that? You had some bad sex with somebody? Then maybe they just don't know how to communicate without their body. Maybe they don't know how to communicate without their words, right? And so this is practice. Yes, low vibe sex. Thank you. That's what it was. Low vibe sex. So what determines low vibe sex? And then what is the antidote for that? And then what you would need to be practicing. Yes, low vibe sex has more to do with self-gratification than intimacy. Exactly, because it literally just is physical. Like there's no other communication that's happening other than just the physical and just the root chakra, if you will. They haven't even gotten up to the heart, let alone the third eye, let alone to all of the other ones. And when you got that shit in alignment, whoo, that's just such a bigger O. Chamomile tea. Okay. I feel like chamomile tea. Good chemistry helps. Yeah. And chemistry is, could we just say that chemistry is the feeling of energies without any other verbal communications? So if it was based on that, couldn't you create or generate chemistry with anyone who had the deeper or higher awareness to communicate outside of the tangible aspects, that could communicate with more non-tangible essences? Always energetic before anything else. Yes, yes. What do you mean, is that good? Yes, that's good. All right. It's like being in someone else's vortex. Yes, Junipers. So the vortex, you guys, everybody is your own vortex. What happens when you start spinning vortexes together? Okay. All right. The last two. What was that? Spinning vortexes together. All right. It's like, really? We're good. Perfect. So in the conversation of spinning vortexes together, we've got, and I love that I'm wearing like all this Egyptian, right? Because we've got Bast, right? With which she's the cat. Your independence, right? So it's independent. Your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. Okay. Hold the phone, because we got that both fell out at the same time. So we got the independence card with the true love card. Okay. The romantic stirrings in your heart have propelled the universe to deliver great love to you. So when we're talking about two vortexes together, that's very like, oh gosh, I see so many different elements to that. Masculine and feminine, the one within you, you have your independent side and you have your intimate and connection side. Just like within two partners, you bring those two energies together, right? That's the perfect balance within relationship, if you will. Because if you have too much just all love and not enough independence, right, then you're like codependent. It's like you're too close together. There's no separation. You get lost in each other. You forget who you are, right? If you have too much independence, then it's like, oh, you're single, no problem. You don't think about anybody else, and that sort of mindset. Like there's not enough to create a connection with anybody else, right? So if anybody has done my love story transformation work, Val, I put this into what I call a Mandorla nexus. It is who knows the Vesica Pisces, right? So again, we're jamming out on geometry today and all this Egyptian stuff. Look what happens when I wear my brother's sweatshirt. Vesica Pisces, perfect balance of two circles together. They're not overlapping. If they're overlapping, they're too codependent. If they're too far apart and there's no connection whatsoever, then like you have no connection at all. So when they're in perfect balance, again, using the laws of the universe to creating that perfect balance, it's when spirit source wanted to know itself, the unification of the masculine and feminine, the wholeness. It needed to know, it needed to understand itself. So it duplicated itself. And then now it created an opportunity to be in relationship with itself, to then know itself. So what I was saying earlier, the primary in meditation, I was like, what is the primary essence of our soul? It is to know yourself. So self-mastery, self-awareness, having those practices of truly understanding who you are and the primary essence and purpose and desire of your soul to know itself in relationship needs to have the balance between independence and then true love. And you can take true love to mean so many different elements. Yes, harmonizing. Yes, activated. Yes, boom, boom. Yes. And it's almost 11:11. Yes, I know. So you can take the true love aspect, because love doesn't disappear. It's an energy. So again, we're speaking in non-verbal. You can take love as a word and you make it mean 1,000 different things, but even saying that word in of itself means absolutely jack shit if it's not communicated with an energy and a vibration. So again, that brings us full circle to your words' intention, your words' energy speaks more than the words themselves. And even when you're not speaking any words, the essence and the energy behind your emanation, your communication of what you are emanating speaks far louder, far more powerfully than any words ever possibly could. Yes. So that came out during that time. What else do we got? Resonating hearts. Yes. Keep them coming, babes. We've got compassion. Yes. We've got, wow. Okay. Seriously? All right. Can't even go to there just yet. So this is super. Mama, you still in the house? Is my mama still in the house? We had this conversation earlier, okay? Hang on. Let's tighten it up. Let's go. Break it down. First thing. An intention plus being deliberate of what you want always. If you don't fucking know what you want, how are you going to attract it? If you don't know what you want, how are you going to receive it once you attract it? So, in communication with self and romantic or any other relationships, compassion, man, this needs to be on a billboard on every street corner in every city in the US and actually all over the world for that matter. Okay. But primarily, I feel like in the US, but it needs to be a poster everywhere. Okay. Compassion. What does it say? Release judgments about yourself and others. Oh, duality. Because it doesn't matter which side you're on. We're not getting into politics. But we do have to remember that in all relationships, you have to have compassion in order to find commonality. You have to have release of judgment about yourself, about yourselves, and everybody else. You have to release judgment on yourself and everybody else. And I love that it says on self and everybody else. One, because we have to apply to ourselves everything that we apply to everybody else. So it's like, oh yeah, we want them to release judgment because they're so judgy and they're so blah, blah, blah. And everybody's telling everybody else what to do. And if there's ever any judgment, then we are only receiving the judgment because we have judgment on ourselves. That's just truth. Give me some hearts if you resonate, if you know that truth, right? Unconditional acceptance, truth, exactly, right? So if anybody's sitting there judging you, then there's some aspect where you've been judging yourself, and that's the only reason it's getting triggered. So more compassion. And we drop off a couple people. I love it whenever I say truth, and then a couple people drop off because they're like, oh, that triggered. I don't want to hear the truth. I don't want to move into a greater, highest version of myself. I don't want to have better relationships, Sarah. I don't want to vibrate higher, Sarah. That's enough. That's too much truth for Tuesday. I'll come back next week when maybe she won't speak so boldly and point out how we are so badass that we have all the power in the universe. We have all of the power and all of the resources if we just know the proper application and practices to ourselves. But, if it triggers you, I'm not sorry. Because I love you and I'm not here to sugarcoat shit. I'm here to make sure that you have better love and relationships from a conscious perspective. Give me some hearts if that resonates for you. I'm in a mood. It's all this copper on my chest. Thank God I didn't wear the red tonight. Let's see what happens next week when I wear the red. Okay, so releasing judgment about yourself and others and focus on love and light that is within everyone. Did we get this last week? I feel like we did. Y'all saw, I just said y'all. You all saw how I shuffled that, correct? So compassion for self and others. I don't think I feel like it should be like on a record and then just put it on repeat and then just put it on a billboard and just flash it all the time. Okay. We don't need any more products being sold. We need to be sold compassion. We need to be sold the practice and the principle and the reminder of compassion. That should be on every billboard since we make everything digital. Okay, can we have one day where every billboard, every digital billboard just flashes the word compassion? Can somebody please make that happen? Like, who do we have to pay? Should not have to pay for that. Your back is getting cold, feeling the truth. Ooh, girl, good. Love that. Well, here's another truth bomb for us today. Okay, is my mama still in the house? Or did she jump off? Because this was part, I love when it doesn't trigger anymore. That means growth. Yes, girl. Yes. So I'll just keep triggering here with love until it doesn't trigger you anymore, until it becomes such a norm for you that you're like, fuck yes. Now I know how to do that. Okay. I don't know if my mama's on. There's mama. Okay. Endings and beginnings, mama. Endings and beginnings. We're literally, no joke, having this conversation earlier where there are so many things right now. I know we're coming up on the new moon. Okay. So we're in the oh my God, think, Sarah. My brain's going a mile a minute. We are in the waning. Thank you. Wow. That took a hot second. We are in the waning period. So we are in release. And we're getting set up for the new moon, which is going to start a waxing period, which is new beginnings, right? And the old must be released so that the new can enter. We know this. Low vibe sex has to leave so that better sex can come in. Okay? That's just what I'm going to say. Juniper's Island, are you here? Okay. Let it go. It's done. I'm sure you already have. Okay. Yes, transformation. Human mind catching up there. Yes, exactly. Okay. So endings and beginnings. Whenever we have to remember that, we have to remember this so much. We get so caught up because we're human. Okay. And we are fucked up. We're fucked up. Okay. That was the other mom and I were laughing because like our stuff was coming up and we were just laughing at just different patterns. We're like, fuck, we're so fucked up sometimes. Like, how do we just create these mind mazes within ourselves to try to figure out how to get out of it. Okay. Just because we're like mentally bored or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. What we need to remember. Okay, Juniper's, you're here. Awesome. Okay. What we need to remember is that whenever there's an ending, right? Because we focus on, give me some hearts if this resonates for you. We focus on so much the ending part of it and how bad that is and how bad that hurts and how terrible and all of the negative. Hi, Ksenia, baby. We focus on the negative whenever there's an ending and we forget to remember that with every, again, law of the universe, we're talking mad geometry like all night long. Okay. I'm going to tell my brother Jamal, with every ending, the law of the universe is that it will always provide a new beginning, big or small. It will always provide a new beginning. That's just a law. It's entropy and entropy. Go Google it. It happens. It's a law of the universe. You cannot have an ending without a beginning. Just like you can't have a new beginning without removing something to make room for the new beginning. You don't get to have two couches in your house. If there is an old couch, you must remove the old crappy couch in order to move the new, better couch in. Okay? You can't have a partner with crappy sex and bring another partner that has better sex, right? That's just that kind of three-way that's just never going to work. You will always ditch the bad sex partner. Girl, we're going with a theme. Okay. Totally. She's like, done that. Check. Right. 100%. So that's important for us to remember, especially in the times like now when we are so filled with so much uncertainty, when that means that things that are changing and removing, things that are ending, always means it's setting us up for a new beginning. And that should be focused on. That's the fucking badass part. So we need a billboard that says happy new beginnings, New Year's Day, every fucking day, along with a billboard that says compassion. Who do we know? Who do we know? Who do we know that owns some digital billboards? Okay. That needs to be blasted in the world right now. Not all the fear programming, not all the deaths. Honor the deaths. Hear me. You know, I don't mean that. And we don't need to focus on, like, what are we focusing on? We've been saying this for years. Focus on love and light and positivity. And then something massive happens and somehow all of our attention goes to the shit. Why? It's such a clear reminder of where our primary conditioning has been focused. Exactly. Thank you. My calendar notifications reminding me, right? Those of you who know me know that I have a Google Calendar for all of my positive mantras. So that's my positive mantra for 8 o'clock. Whenever there is something that we are releasing, it means that we are setting up for something new, for something better, right? Another reason why I got the rose, everything is in bloom again, all the time. And it's going to be better and brighter all the time when you focus on that. So what are you putting into practice? Those of you who heard that before this first one got cut out, okay? So watch the replay on YouTube for the full version because Instagram knocked off the original. What are you putting into practice this week? Everything, every relationship that you do is you being in practice to better your behavior, to be another highest version of you, to know yourself deeper, to create more intimacy, to create more love and connection. And all of those things are putting them into practice, right? If you need tools to recreate those old practices and putting into new practices, then let me know. But every single thing you do is to put into new practice so that you can be building new and releasing the old. It's all a filtration system, and it is all set up by the certainty that we can guarantee is it's a law of the universe. It's always a law of the universe that whenever there is an ending, there is a new beginning. So whenever you have fear of uncertainty and not knowing what's going to happen, you can be sure as shit know that if something's ending, that means something good's coming. And if something good is coming, then that also means, well, you might want to double check what you need to clear out in order to make room for that new thing to come in. And what that also means is you have 100% power in that when you're standing in the center and consciously observing all of it from that perspective, that's your fucking power. So no more, oh my God, I feel out of power. I don't know what to do. There's all this uncertainty, blah, blah, blah. What's going to happen? No, you're 100% guaranteed that some shit's going to leave. Some shit's going to come in, make some fucking room and focus on the future. This is not complicated. This is not complicated. Do I sound like it's not complicated? We're good, right? Knowledge plus action equals wisdom. Boom. Thank you. It's not complicated. We as these funny fucked up humans, we make shit so fucking complicated. We have to because we get bored and our brains are going a mile a minute. We're like, well, we should probably create something complicated so that we can have a reason to figure something out. Otherwise, there's just not enough to think about. Like, what? Do you need more to think about? Stop making shit confusing. Stop confusing yourself. Stop fucking yourself up. Okay? That's all we're doing in our brains. That was what me and my mama were laughing about. We're just like, we're so fucked up. We're just trying to fuck ourselves up even more. Could we just stop that? That might be a good idea. Anybody? You stop? So true. Exactly. That's why I love it. The shot collar. Exactly. Fucking cat with a shot collar. And you're trying to just get yourself to stop electrocuting yourself. Just stop electrocuting yourself. Okay? Did you need a wake up call? Stop electrocuting yourself. Okay. Yes. So much. I think there is so much that we choose not to think about. Exactly. Now we just make it more complicated on ourselves. That's not living a conscious lifestyle. That's putting your head in the sand and pretending that shit doesn't exist. And it just gets more and more painful. And then you just keep falling into that nettles bush. And you're like, why is my body on fire? Why is shit not going the way that I want to? It's really not complicated. It's really, really not. But we are humans that need to experience ourselves because the primary soul purpose of your soul, your essence, the primary desire of your soul. Give me some hearts if this resonates for you. This is what came through so fucking strong in my meditation. Primary drive, primary purpose of a soul. Is that what I put? And I don't even remember where it is. Primary drive and primary purpose of your soul is to know itself. So you'll create some shit to figure out, to then you'll create some drama. You'll daydream some drama to then try to come up with a solution for it, to then solve the drama, to be the antidote, so then you can have the feeling of success and achievement, so that ultimately you can understand and know yourself and say, congratulations, I know myself. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I'm in such a mood. I'm in such a mood today. Yes, always fall in the nettle bush. Just antidote yourself. And part of antidoting yourself is knowing what is the antidote that you need. Put that shit into practice. And sometimes we need some deeper stuff. Okay. Sometimes that's on a conscious level. Sometimes we need some deeper subconscious programming because there's shit you don't know. Okay. I have totally been there. Before I know all of the different things that I know, there was a time I'm like, I don't understand. I was super unconscious with a lot of things. Okay. I know you all were too. And there's stuff that you still don't know, and that's okay. So you are on this journey of knowing yourself. So have fun while you're fucking yourself up, that you're really just learning to know yourself. Yes, bullet on target. Need to learn more. Little power becoming, girl. You know it. You know it. I might do that for Christmas. I might do a blast of my Power of Becoming course. Give me some hearts. Give me some yeses if you guys would be down for that, for you and your family. Maybe I'll do like a family special or something like that, so you guys can have the tools to put into practice every single day, so that then you can know yourself. And then you know what to do when you're trying to fuck yourself up. It's all the antidotes, basically, to all the nettles. And then basically you would have the things to put into practice every single day. These super easy, applicable things where you're just like, oh, well, now I get it. Oh, that's fucking easy. Oh, I'm in a bad mood. Oh, that's how I get out of that. Awesome. Right? That might be a Christmas bonus. I think we're going to have to do that. All right. Power of Becoming Christmas Coco 2020 for everybody that wants to give yourself the antidote to your nettles and stop shock collaring yourself. Dig in your talk, but what is to adding meaning to it? But what if what is to add meaning to life? But what if that's what it is to add meaning to life? Great question, which was weirdly said. So I'm going to try to make all of that. Oh my God, Christmas is going to be interesting. Mm-hmm. I love that you said, what if that is why we're adding meaning to life? Okay. As humans, you guys, who here has heard me say 1,000 times, what are you making it mean? That's one of my favorite mindset shifts, to bring awareness to just programming, unconscious programming that you've been practicing, right? So you're either practicing conscious programming, conscious, healthy, beneficial programming, or you're practicing unhealthy, unconscious programming, right? But all of it, we're human, we make meaning. There is nothing that you don't make meaning about. Nothing. As a human, that's part of this supercomputer's operating system, is to make meaning out of things. What you make meaning out of is determined by what programming you're putting into practice. Some people make meaning out of things that you're just like, how the fuck did you make that mean? How did you get that? I don't even understand where'd you get that, right? I know you know those people. Sometimes you say something and then somebody's like, so you don't like cats? How did you make that meaning? So there is a making meaning of life. And what if it's not to make meaning of things? What if it's to know yourself and to know and have the power of the meaning that you make consciously? That is to live life consciously. That is to love consciously. That is to build and create yourself consciously, not from programming that you learned, that is unconsciously projected, that is programmed into you by what you watch, listen to, hear, learn, all of those things. Boom, boom. Yes, Christmas is a time that we can shift into more love and compassion. Yeah, well, this year we're going to need it. So somebody get those digital billboards out with compassion, okay? The final card, at least for the goddess cards. We got the past life card. This situation involves your past life memories. So if we were to play the game, okay, because yes, I have done past life regressions, past life reprogramming, hypnosis for past life reprogramming specifically, right? So I've done all of that. So prefacing it with, I very much do subscribe to past lives having influence on our current life. I also, give some hearts if this resonates, Believe that you can tap in, that time is not linear. It's a layered on top of itself. I've spoken about this quite a few years ago in one of the videos a long time ago. Okay, time is layered on top of itself. It is not linear. So you can tap in to all the different timelines that you have in this now moment. It's one of the things that talking about programming, you can be taking on past life programming, also known as just conditioning. Your soul's cellular memory. If you were a disk drive, not that anybody uses those, right? But like you have memory in there. You have cellular memory, you have energetic soul memory. Those are programs. If it is in any way hindering your growth in this lifetime, in this dimensional reality, in this experience, if it is in any way hindering your progressive growth, it's the same word, if is hindering your progression, let's just say, to greater awareness of self, greater mastery, greater compassion, better relationship, all of those things, living consciously, if it is in any way hindering those, then the things that are coming up that we've been talking about, this whole thing that has to do with a past life, because it literally just means programming. And that can be past life programming of past just yesterday. That can be your past relationship programming. That could be a past life programming, because it's all happening right now anyways. Yes? So all of this has to do with past life stuff. So we talk about reprogramming, like generational, that's all being a cycle breaker. That's past life stuff at the same time. We're at this apex point. Talk about out with the old, in with the new beginnings. What if everything that's happening in this world right now, all of these things are happening for the purpose of us writing the new future, rewriting past lives, experiences on how we've all been interacting with each other. Like, it's all happening now. Yeah, hearts. Beware of the moment to make new meaning. Yes. You're such a beautiful being inside out. Thank you, Juniper Island. I don't know why. I think of Gilligan. I just do. I used to watch that show. I used to love watching that show. I just dated myself. Do you guys even know Gilligan's Island? Is that even like still on? So that needs to be a reframe, Juniper. Oh man, I want water so bad. Okay, we'll tie it up after these cards. So why are so many men unconscious and not respecting or honoring women? Okay. Yes, that is happening. And it is also not happening. So, there are many men who are absolutely bringing and living more consciously and respecting and honoring the feminine within themselves, right? From an essence level, as well as then honoring and respecting women in their life, 100%. So we need to stop creating that narrative, because there's a villainizing with that, right? And I don't mean to, I love that you said it, because it's the more that we talk about it, the better. Okay. So I'm not picking on you, but I'm allowing what you're saying to have more of this open conversation, because girl, like I've equally been there. Okay. I've dated plenty of narcissists. I've had that conversation. It was like, why is men doing this? And da, da, da. And we have to remember that the language that we speak is continuing to create our reality. So no matter what we say about the world, the government, politics, each other, we have to remember what we're speaking, because that's part of a narrative that we're continuing to play out. Burn the book. If there is something, right? And here's where this goes for everybody. I had to equally see this by myself. I had to equally, right? This is very much what I teach any ladies that work with me. Ladies, you know, the power is within you. It's how you're living consciously. So whatever is being said, that also has to do with the relationship between your inner masculine and feminine. Okay. So on some level, like creating better self-trust between your essences of masculine and feminine, that relationship, when that comes together even stronger, then you will start emanating that vibration and thus then recreating a new story around that conversation. So I love that you said that. Thank you, because it's still part of the narrative, but we need to remember so much that no matter what it is we're saying, like, what are we creating with those words? What is the energy? Talking about the energy behind that. And yes, it comes from past experiences. So are we living from our past, or are we writing a new future? With as much as you can justify, because the past happened. Everybody's past has happened, and we can be like, but this happened before. It doesn't mean that you have to make the agreement to have it happen in your future. And if you declare that it's not going to happen in your future and you fucking rewrite that shit, then that is the power that you have. Every person for any topic, but it takes a fucking village, because then you're going to be tested on it, and you're going to walk down the street and then somebody's going to say something that's going to sound just like that. When you want to rewrite that program, that sentence about anything, then somebody's going to come along and you're going to have a 2-second moment as to whether you're going to fall in line with that old story and agree with them, or whether you're going to take that moment and consciously choose, wait a second, wow, yeah, I used to have that narrative. Nope, I'm going to consciously remember that that is not my narrative anymore. I consciously choose to rewrite my own story for that. I consciously choose to focus on the future and the feeling of what I want, not what has happened in the past. Take the lessons from the past. Don't bring them into the future. No, we can't do that, because we know what we'll get. We'll get the same thing. Oop, and then we got some people who dropped off on that because you don't want to hear it. I love it. You don't want to be the conscious creator and the power of your own reality. You want to continue blaming people? Seriously? Okay. Some people aren't ready. It's okay. Some people aren't ready. I like it when I get people who unfollow me if I trigger them. Because it means you're not ready, and that's okay. I love you still. Let's see. They are rising. Yes. Just noticing a lot of men that are stuck in that. Absolutely. Because aren't we all still a little stuck practicing new things in one area or another? You might be stuck, but somewhere else. You just might not be stuck in the area that they're stuck in, because you've already learned some of that, but you might be stuck in an area they're not stuck in. Everybody's stuck somewhere until you learn, because you put into practice, and then now you know. So you're always going to be stuck somewhere, and somebody's always going to be unstuck where you're not, and you're going to be stuck where somebody else is not. That's just always going to be. If we have a pie, there's never what somebody else is doing or not doing. You just have all these different areas on your pie, and some areas you're fucking badass at, where somebody else might not be so good at. And in other areas, these where you're not so good at, somebody be like, I got that. What's wrong with you? Somebody's always stuck. That's where is it? Compassion for yourself and everybody else comes into play. Because you might have learned something that somebody else is just learning. Doesn't mean that they're not capable of learning it. Just means that maybe they don't know it right now. Find the ones that do, align with the ones that do, but you don't kick yourself or somebody else. You don't want somebody to kick you on the areas that you don't know, because that doesn't feel good either. Not saying you're kicking them, right? Super good point. Thank you for bringing that up. Is that resonating with you guys? Yes, it's not going to continue to happen. Exactly. Like, truth hurts. Woo! Sometimes the truth feels good and it tickles, but sometimes people aren't ready to hear that. So case in point, right? Sometimes if they're still stuck there and they may not be ready to move through something, that's okay. You have to honor that every person's soul has its own journey. Every person's soul has its own journey. Just like you are on your own journey. You might be moving slower than somebody else. You might be moving faster than somebody else. That's why we're all, if we can all bring in more compassion and be helping each other out and come from a more compassionate level, be like, yo, I got you. And letting that be okay to show up vulnerably, to be like, wow, I don't know this. Help me out. Oh, you don't know that? I got you. That's all it's about. The more that we have a conversation of like duality and separation and pitting against each other, well, y'all already know the answer to that one, right? So, coming full circle to what are you wanting to practice? Let's end it on that. What are you wanting to practice? Practice compassion. Practice riding the wave of like uncertainty and or riding the wave with uncertainty, riding the wave of like being in flow with whatever's going to happen. Most importantly, riding the wave of compassion for wherever you are, to where you want to go that you're not yet, to wherever somebody else is, to wherever they want to go that they're not yet, and helping each other out. That's how we shift cultural consciousness on a global scale. And we cannot do it. Like it takes each one of you individually. That's what Soul Circle is about. That's why this is a collective. Because the more that you learn those pieces, the more that you're putting into practice, operating as the highest version of you, outside of judgment, not judging yourself, not judging others, bringing more compassion together. What's the world you want to create? How do you want to have relationship? How do you want to have better sex? How do you want to have better communication? How do you want to have better like partnerships and romantic relationships? And if you can start there and operate and treat every single person as if they were your potential partner, where would we be? That's a new concept. Talk to people as if you would date them. Not that you would date them. Talk to them as if you would date them. What would that look like? How would that shift our communication? How would you show up differently? How would they show up differently? Talk to each other. Man, woman, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, gay, straight, doesn't matter. This is not a sexual thing. Okay. You guys hear me? You know this. This is not to put any sexual, I don't mean talk to them as if you would date them, fuck them. That's not what I'm talking about. Try this on for practice. This week, talk to anybody that you come across, family members, strangers, anybody. Talk to them like you would date them. Man or woman, or transgender, okay? Just including everybody. Everybody, all sexes across the board. Talk to them as if you would date them. Who's down? Let me see. Going to practice vulnerability, Val, good, compassion, and honoring another's soul journey, even if they're not matched to mine, baby girl. I can't wait until we do our recap called Collective Compassion Consciousness. Yes. C3. Exactly. Okay, you're in? Awesome. You'll do that? Awesome. Now your lower back is tingling. It's blasting cold from shoulder blades down. Love this activation. Okay, awesome. Get it, girl. Awesome. Let whatever, I just show up and speak whatever's supposed to be said. I don't remember half of the stuff that comes out my mouth. I really don't. M intuition. Do not say try, girl. That's not how we do that. I'm going to try that. I'm playing with you. Bringing sensuality. Okay, cool. Yes, you'll do that. Yes, you'll do that. Okay, cool. Awesome. Final 3 cards of the night. Just talk to me. I don't even know what that would look like for somebody that you're not actually trying to date. Just like flirt with them a little extra. That would be really, somebody film that, please. I would pay money to be a fly in that scenario. Last 3 cards. Prosperity, freedom. You guys saw me shuffle these, right? Isn't those the last two that we got last week? Prosperity and Freedom and Soulmate card. You know how we feel about Soulmate and Space Clearing. Okay. So Prosperity and Freedom, Soulmate, Space Clearing. I feel like we've talked about so many of these already, but this is so funny. This is everything that, like, every client call that I've had, almost every client call that I've had, like, this week, and including myself, definitely still space clearing. So prosperity, freedom, being in touch with more of what you want, not what you don't want, right? This is all abundance. This is all, ooh, happy birthday. Whose birthday is it? Al Lemmer, is it Reina? Lemorena? Happy birthday. Give some hearts for her. Okay, prosperity and freedom. Freedom is a state of being, it's not a destination. Prosperity is a vibrational essence. It's not things that you tangibly have or create. You are the version of it before the things, the tangible things that then define it, right? Or that we make define it in a 3D sort of tangible aspect. Does that make sense? Like, it's a version of you. It's an essence. It's a being. So we've been talking about before communication, before something tangible. You are the vibrational essence of prosperity and freedom. That's the energy that we are able to tap into this week, along with soulmate. You got to be your own soulmate first. We've said this so many times. You got to care about yourself on a level that you would care about another. You cannot care about another if you can't really truly say that you care about another if you don't truly care about yourself. If you have high hopes and high visions for another, but you don't equally have those for yourself, and somebody else is the reflection of you, then it's counter. It's not the same thing, right? Then you don't truly know how to care for another if you don't truly know how to care for yourself. So practice with yourself. How would you speak to yourself if you were dating yourself? Y'all get to be selfish this week, okay? And space clearing. Clear out the old so that the new, where to go, so that the ending, so clear out, space clearing, everything that's ending, clear it out so that then you can bring in new. We're setting up for the new moon, so we're in perfect timeline for that. There is still so many things left to change in the world. We're not done yet. And if we're all evolving, then technically nothing's ever done. So remember, full circle, uncertainty is a good thing. It means that there's opportunity for expansion and possibility. And whenever something is ending, it means that there's always something beginning. These are laws and rules of the universe. I love you guys. Solid truth. True, true, true. Love you guys for showing up to Soul Circle Collective. You guys make this shit happen and you make this whole thing fun. And I love that you guys always connect and support and communicate with each other in here. It makes this so fun. I love that you bring your questions. I love how much you guys are just so interactive in here with each other, with me. I love the hearts. I love the hearts. Shout out to my brother. Okay, watch my stories. I'll post about this. This is my new favorite one. I got a red one that I'll post on. This is all copper. Okay, this is his new line. It's called Hawks. So I know the first part. So watch the YouTube for the full thing of this because the first part got cut out, right? Health, abundance, wealth, knowledge of self. Okay, and this whole thing is copper. And my dad helped design all of the Egyptian geometry stuff in the center. And then there was another designer who did a lot of the artwork that I don't remember his name right now. But my brother Jamal, who's such a badass, please go support him. A lot of the money goes to his kids for college. So this is how a badass dad is showing up. Talk about conscious men showing up with wisdom, with honoring feminine. This is a brother of mine, another one that has just been so honoring of like my feminine, who just would do anything, just such like the day that we met, this like giant tree like fell over. It was super hilarious. It didn't hurt anybody. That part wasn't funny, but just such an amazing, like, talk about soul connection of like soul family on how we just honor each other and respect and support each other. So I support anything and everything that he's doing. We're going to be doing a collab on this. We talked about me doing like a curriculum and turning this into an actual like teaching course. So more to come on all that fun stuff. I love you guys so much, so much. I love seeing all of your individual handles. I try to get to know each one of you. So if you ever have any questions, DM me. I will be doing, this is the shout out for this, okay? I'll be doing Power of Becoming for Christmas. So it's the course is basically the 6 foundational techniques to like reprogram on a subconscious level, basically giving you those techniques, those practices, really easy practices, so that then you can be the conscious creator of your reality, so that you can vibrate at the level of love that you already are outside of all of these programs. So I'm for sure going to do that. Might do like a family special, something like that. I don't know, but keep a lookout for that. You guys know you can always find information about that on my website, or just DM me about it. But for sure, that's what I'll do for Christmas because it's needed right now. Everybody needs to be practicing at a better level, right? And I'm committed to doing that for you, but also so that you can have that in your most intimate relationships, your family relationships, but ultimately so you can have the love that you want and the business that you want and just create your life from a conscious perspective. So I love you guys so much. My name's Sarah Delane, the Conscious Lifestylist. Love you guys for showing up every year for like 4 years now. I'll keep it going. As long as you're here, I'll show up. I love you all. I'll see you next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Replay is on YouTube or in my IGTVs. Bye, babes. Bye, YouTube.